You can't spell inflation without HPV.
HPV. Is that true?
Nope.
Nope.
There's not one of those letters in
No,
inflation.
there's an H. No, there's not. We're your hosts, Tara, Nora, and Allie, and you're listening to Bad Advice Only.
We're just three New York City rats talking about scurrying around the Big Apple. Here, we make the New York City mistakes so you don't have to.
We're begging you. Leave us a review and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We release new episodes every Monday, so
Stay tuned, rats.
Just hit record.
We're on.
This is part 2 of finances.
Finances.
Finance.
We have our guest, Allie Bieber, joining us this time.
I'm back, bitches. Did you miss me? Because I had FOMO listening to the last episode.
Did you have FOMO?
Obviously.
I have to say, no one commented about the lack of you being on.
Not one person. And I had people text me about how excited they were to listen to the episode. And I go, great, I'm not in it. And then they were like, great episode. I was like, oh.
That didn't happen.
Swear to God.
No one was like, where's Allie?
Not one.
That's good to know. We're all replaceable.
I could leave this at any point.
We can all walk away.
It's fine.
When this friendship explodes. So this week we're going to do a continuation of our finance episode.
Finances.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts.
Because Allie's got thoughts. But first, we have our fan favorite segment, our dropping.
Okay, Al. So there's been some breaking news recently about a gentleman called Huberman.
Is that his first or last name? What do you mean he's called Huberman?
His last name is Huberman. I'm glad you're asking some clarifying questions.
They call him Huberman.
So have you not heard of Huberman?
It sounds like you're talking about a Labrador.
He is a Labrador.
He is not a Labrador based on the new findings.
Yeah, you're right. He's more just a dog.
Is he like a rapist or something?
You know, it's not that deep.
Well, okay. Do you want me to throw out some guesses? Like, what's the ask?
No, usually at a rat dropping, we tell a news story.
Nora, go ahead and educate Allie and our listeners. Some listeners may not know who Huberman is.
I will, but I'd like a preamble, which is that I researched this in a fever dream around 3 a.m. because I woke up to a text that was like, what do you think about Huberman? And I was like, oh shit, what happened with Huberman? So I did all my research between the hours of like 3 and 3:05, went to bed, never to discuss it again.
The witching hour.
So here we are.
Okay.
I'm currently typing this in because now I'm wondering if you just made this story up because of a dream.
Well, maybe I did. No, it's real, I think. But Allie, to start, Huberman's a podcaster. He's like the most famous podcaster in the world. He's like a neuroscientist or some bullshit.
He's a neuroscientist.
PhD.
He's a doctor.
Yeah.
And he's the most famous podcaster.
He's, like,
I've never heard of him.
He's not the most, but he's
up
very
there.
well liked. His thing's called the Huberman
He's
something.
got the Huberman show.
Men the
love
population, his following is typically white male.
Oh, why does he think he can land a plane?
Huberman has not gone on record as to whether or not he thinks he can land a plane, to my knowledge. That being said, he's America's Dr. Sweetheart. Now, breaking news. He had 5 girlfriends at once, multiple of whom had children.
With him?
He was living with one of them, and he gave them all HPV. And this is news.
Initial thoughts?
Is he hot?
No.
I don't find him attractive.
Okay.
Y'all know my taste.
So money can buy women. Okay. Second of all, my other questions are, like, did the girlfriends know about each other? Like, if he's living with one?
No, that's
that was
the whole
my
point.
exact clarifying question when Nora told me this. I was like, oh, well, he's like a kooky guy living in probably the Bay Area. Is he just in an open, ethically non-monogamous relationship? The answer is no.
He was
Isn't
cheating.
he tired? Like, aren't you tired?
Yeah, when do you have time?
Well, that's his whole thing is he's all about, like, the optimal life. So
Doesn't
I
his
guess
HPV slow him down?
doesn't slow us down.
Also, he's a doctor. Shouldn't he know his HPV?
Okay, so this is the biggest rat dropping of all.
And we need to educate our listeners because clearly even the doctor who should know this does not know.
So we're doing a PSA.
Well, men don't know that they have HPV.
Thank you, Allie.
Allie
When I
knows,
was doing
Tara knew,
when I was
Nora
doing my
knew.
research, I saw from his statement from his PR rep, Huberman has never tested positive for HPV.
Yeah, they don't test positive.
Thank you.
There's
Look
no
at these
tests.
3 dumbass bitches who have no fucking education, a little education. We're not PhD neuroscientists, and we all know that there's no test for men on HPV, which is some bullshit.
I would, of course, disclose with a sexual partner if I had any STDs, STIs, but no one's disclosing if they have HPV. Women, because
No.
men don't know.
Right.
I disclosed.
Your
Listen.
We'll
HPV.
cut this, but Tara's HPV with the worm by accident in your bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, well,
we
you
don't have
got
to cut
HPV.
this.
We don't have to cut this? Okay, then
No,
tell
I
it
don't give a
again.
fuck.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, you were like building a desk or something.
Yeah,
in
we were
your
building a
bed,
desk
and
doing-
I was so drunk.
During the pandemic, I got a desk, and Allie and the worm, a shithead ex-lover of mine. We hope he's physically dead in a
is.
ditch. Yeah, Allie disclosed to him that I had HPV, and I
How'd that come up?
It's like, is this a standing desk? I'm like, your girl's got HPV.
that's exactly what happened.
So back to Huberman really quick. I just want to reiterate what a fucking dumbass PR rep he has who needs to be fired immediately, who's spreading misinformation across the
Yes.
world that men can be tested for HPV. Secondly, women, you don't need to tell men you have HPV. We don't need to tell them. There's no test for them anyway. And you can get it even if you wear a condom. So
Yeah.
fuck this shit. I think HPV, like, they should just rename it, recategorize it all together because it's scaring people.
Just call it cancer.
Just call it cancer. Just call it pre-cancer. That'll keep people comfy. Because then you'll check every year. You should check your pre-cancer every year. I do.
Yeah.
ladies.
I check my precancer because I need to get my birth control. Mm-hmm. But this is why I'm just going to be single forever.
So
I don't want any dick in this.
Oh, are you going celibate?
I'm going to go celibate. I'd rather be celibate than have to fucking get scrapies.
2024, Allie goes celibate. Okay.
are you not currently celibate? I'm confused.
I'm celibate in this moment. The only
like
thing-
right now, there's
The
not
only
Day
thing that's in me is a
3 of-
tampon.
even right now, not quite celibate.
I did.
So he's done, right? Like he's canceled?
No, he's not canceled because his target audience doesn't care. His
Yeah.
target audience is white guys with autism
Who cheat?
who cheat.
HPV is only going to run more rampant.
The
because-
autistic community is about to run rampant with HPV because of this misinformation.
Stop giving the
No.
autistics HPV.
Now that's a rat dropping.
So yeah, Huberman is a cheater. Do we care that much?
No.
No. Here's my PSA for men. If you're a man and you're not a virgin, you have HPV. Thank you.
Good night.
Okay, so here we are, part 2 of finances.
Yeah, some interesting takes. I was pretty concerned.
From our content.
I just feel like
or-
I knew that you guys were ratty because obviously, like, I've been to your apartment and you guys are my best friends. So, and some of you do my finances. But yeah, like, don't wear shirts with holes in the elbows.
That's totally fair feedback.
Guys, it's a Madewell shirt.
I don't
they're
believe.
expensive.
But so here's my thing: you're gonna spend money on a shirt with a hole. It's like buying those shoes that are pre-scuffed.
She
I
didn't.
ripped
She
hole in my shirt.
She didn't buy the shirt with the hole.
It wasn't one of those, like,
The hole
stylistic things.
formed
would've
over time.
Been so much more happy if she had bought it with the whole. Also, I have to say, I cackled so hard when you were like, Tara. Tara's idea of splitting the grocery bill is if you don't buy groceries, I won't eat, because there's no more like applicable sentiment than Tara just starving herself to not have to pay for a meal.
Wait, oh my God, this just reminded me. It's a bit unrelated, but
Okay.
Tara and I were at lunch the other day, and she's looking at the menu and she's like, I don't know if I like this. And then she goes, oh, I have a note on my phone of the foods that I like. And I go, what? So she pulls up a note on her phone and starts reading off the foods that she needed to write down to remember that she liked.
Like what?
Examples include wontons and muffins.
So here's the reason I have a list as to why I have food that I like. It's not to remind me if I like them. It's if I ever go grocery shopping and I get overwhelmed in the grocery store.
But you don't go grocery shopping because
And
you
if
don't
you
like to
did,
spend
you would
money.
never buy muffins.
But like,
Or
yeah, you're gonna leave with
wontons.
muffins and wontons. What are you
Well,
gonna make
those-
with that?
No, those
like
are
a
pretty
muffin
low
egg roll?
down on the list, y'all.
Those are the
Ahead
ones
of it
that
was
we laugh.
quiche, frittata, cranberries.
Not even the ingredients to make a quiche. Just a fucking full quiche.
Well, at Whole Foods they sell.
I don't want you to defend yourself while you read this list. I just want to hear the raw list.
Okay, frittata, cranberries, green apples, bananas, cereal, tortillas for snacks, oatmeal, cucumbers, carrots, peppers, tahini, wontons, muffins, toast.
Toast, not bread.
Eggs, cream cheese and dill, corn nuts. Guys,
Corn nuts are
hot
fucking
take.
good. Corn nuts are good.
They're good, but they're expensive. I'm shocked that's on your list.
If we're gonna say that was a grocery list, that was like the
I'm
most
not done.
deranged thing.
cheese, spicy jelly.
What the fuck is spicy jelly?
You know,
No,
the
I know
stuff
what you're
you put on
talking
the
about.
cheese.
She's thinking about like
Oh, like a jalapeno jam?
yeah, like a jam.
Spicy jelly. Ew.
Tuna, wheat thins. I wrote street corn, but I don't know why they don't sell that.
Street corn.
Fuck is this?
That's what I'm saying. It's just a list of things she likes.
All right, I don't want to hear anymore. I'm so glad you buy the groceries.
Yeah, so
Well, lately Nora has been in a fake depression. She's really been milking it.
I'm not
And
in a
I've
fake
been
Like a
depression.
financial depression.
No, I'm in a real depression, not a fake depression. It's because I've been
Anyways.
having too much screen time.
Okay.
She's been watching so much TV.
It's when I get on
Same.
a Rick and Morty kick.
Oh, yeah, I
Turn
forgot
it
you're Rick and
on.
Morty.
I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, 10 listeners. But when I get on the kick and I watch it from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. every night, that's when my depression kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that might be a symptom, not a cause.
Yeah, anyways, I've been forced to do a lot of the cooking and grocery shopping recently, and it's not going well.
If you want to know what Tara has been up to, she got a bodega sandwich yesterday, and it had too much turkey in it. So she
always does.
took the turkey pile out of the sandwich, put it in a piece of foil, and then served it to me for dinner.
Okay.
So I wonder why my depression's
Wait.
not getting any better.
Wait, I was
You got
totally going to be
protein.
like, this was a great segue back into finances. If you were like, oh, I'll save the turkey later for my cheese and crackers, so
No,
I
she
didn't have to
served
spend
it to
money.
me for dinner.
But you like, it's not like a literal turkey breast that you're serving her shaved turkey that was once upon a sandwich.
Yeah, I found $6, and so I went and found
Where'd
$6.
you find it?
Where'd you find
Under your
that?
bed?
Don't worry about it, guys.
It was in your little jewelry box where she keeps her drugs.
Yeah, I had no
I
idea I had
fucking knew
$6. Yeah, it was my jewelry box, not my drug box. Jesus.
Well, there's no jewelry in it.
There is cocaine.
What a funny joke.
One of my ratty things that Nora gets really frustrated with, and I've been hiding it better so that I don't have to hear it from her. I reuse foil, tinfoil.
I fucking hate it when she does this.
So
It's like we're living in the Great Depression. This woman makes 6 figures.
why not act like we're living in the Great Depression?
Because you don't need to.
Right, but like if
Tinfoil's like $2.99.
Tara has
Yeah.
a disorder of the mind.
Like, I've got body dysmorphia. You've got, like, money dysmorphia. Like, I don't...
Tara has money dysmorphia. That's
you know,
what I'm
guys,
diagnosed
I used to work
with.
for a nonprofit where we were resource
No,
poor.
enough with that, because
Yeah,
Nora and
it's
I
been
worked
like-
in publishing where we
No,
literally could
I'm
not afford to
talking about
eat.
my paycheck. I'm not talking about my salary at the nonprofit. I'm talking about being resource poor. And yeah, I would melt the crayons down and then reshape them for my kids.
Do you think the Boys and Girls Club wants to be associated with this podcast? You
long as the
got
kids
a
don't listen to
youth
it.
with only one parent figure? Is that what it's for?
Nope.
Hey, rats, you looking to adopt a...
I don't know what the Boys and Girls Club
Quick
does.
PSA, the Boys and Girls Clubs is an organization for at-risk youth.
And that's all we have for today.
And moving right along to our rat finances.
No, really, if you are looking for a great cause, sign up today.
Sign up. To
It's a
what?
volunteer organization.
Nope.
Tara got paid.
I got paid.
But you can volunteer.
You can volunteer. We're looking for donors, not volunteers, though.
Fine, everyone, donate to that or
Donate to us.
Donate to us.
The Boys and Girls Club of podcasts.
Also at risk.
Also at risk with
of something.
HPV.
We all have HPV. That's
I
something.
don't.
No, I cured mine.
Allie,
I don't. I went to the doctor this year.
I don't believe you.
Do you want me to pull up my results?
Yeah, does it say HPV?
says
HPV
negative.
free.
I just think, like, I am of the mindset, like, I don't want to overspend, though I do, but like I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna spend my money how I want to spend it.
Where do you overspend, in what category?
Everything, but mostly fitness.
Yeah, Allie spends a lot of money on
What's
so
your
much
budget line item
Yeah.
for fitness?
$400 a month.
That's actually not as bad as I thought it would be.
Where do you think that y'all's trauma around money started?
There's no
That's
there's
so
no explanation.
so worth unpacking. I do not know.
There's no explanation.
No, there's somewhere the two of you have repressed
Our
it.
parents were frugal. Our dad was the breadwinner. Our mother had odd jobs growing up all the time. She like
Our mom is
delivered
the
yellow-
OG rat. She
Yeah.
delivered the yellow paper. She pet sat. She was like watering plants and
Yeah.
cleaning shit.
She would do the most random things. Okay. The only other thing that I was thinking about with part 2 of finances was maybe talking a little bit more about the ages that we were. I don't know if we really honed in on, like, you were 21, 22, making $36,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty young. You also mentioned really briefly that maybe we should anchor onto it's not sustainable.
Uh-huh.
So can you expand a little bit more on that?
What's not sustainable?
Living off of $36,000.
It's not sustainable in New York.
It's not sustainable really anywhere.
It's pretty difficult. Though I do want to back up and say that when I was in college, I was spending under $6,000 in a year.
You tracked in college your spending? Psycho.
I spend the same amount a month now that I spent in a year in college. That's a fact. So my point is that $36K actually did feel like a lot, even though then I was like actually paying for my housing.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
health
was going to say
insurance.
there's a lot of differences there. Like
Yeah.
you get food in college, things like that are usually like
Right.
equipped with tuition.
I'm just saying, when I got $36K as my starting salary, I was like, that's a lot of money.
I did too, but then I was also going to say when I was listening to the podcast like this week that y'all didn't really take into consideration or talk about inflation at all and how that's impacted us. Like you guys just picked
Yeah.
a rogue salary and were like, it's impossible to live. And then,
yeah, rather
but
don't
like
worry about inflation.
Yeah.
36K was doable. It was not
Yeah.
sustainable, but it was doable because groceries were like a third of the cost back
Right.
then.
It's not doable. And the lifestyle would have to be vastly worse now than it was for me in 2013.
Yeah, you could not live off of 36K now.
Can we talk about your savings?
Her bat mitzvah money,
No, that's gone. Sorry, Dad.
all of it's gone.
Well, most of it's gone because I used it to move when
Do
I
you
got
have
into
an
the city.
account in one of your banks that says bat mitzvah money?
It's
How
in
do
a separate bank and it's a Connecticut only bank, so I can only access the funds if I'm in Connecticut.
How much is in there?
Right now, $2K.
Nice.
Making
And you spent it-
0.25 interest.
Oh, fuck.
Could you maybe move that?
I'm like, it's 1K. Like,
Well, it was two.
well,
a minute
2K,
ago.
whatever it was. 2K.
She's losing money.
The honor is gone.
No, it's in my tracker. It's in my budget tracker.
So back to too expensive shoes. We had a different friend who we went to Europe with, and in the middle of the trip,
I was going to bring up this story.
she revealed that her white tennis shoes she was wearing were $500. When I tell you, I had real nightmares about her shoes. I'm not exaggerating. I woke up in sweats because I kept dreaming that like something was gonna mess up the $500 tennis shoes.
Listener, I couldn't recount if you asked me how my trip to Europe was. I have no idea which country we went to because every time Nora got me alone out of our friend group, she would say, "Can you believe she spent $500?"
It stressed me out.
Moving right along. So for finances, so I was just listening to the Erica Taught Me podcast.
Ugh, I love her.
I know you do.
You think she'll come on this podcast?
No. I think she'd be too corporate. She gives me corporate vibes.
Yeah.
But I was listening to the episode she did like a few weeks back about investing as women. And she was on with like the number one woman in Wall Street.
We loved that
and they
one.
were
That
like,
was one of my favorite episodes.
you know, she's like, oh, you're never too young to start investing. So like I started investing like 2 years ago, way too old. I was
No.
like 30. But what age did y'all start? Because it sounds
not
like Nora started in the womb.
Well, it's actually quite unfortunate. When I first got a job, I knew investing was important. It was pretty vague. I just knew you're supposed to invest. So I got a Roth IRA, which is a very smart idea. And I invested my little $500 a month every month till I reached the max every year for about 4 or 5 years, only to realize that when you put money in a Roth IRA, you still have to invest that money. You still have to buy stocks and ETFs and whatnot. And I didn't do that for a good 5 years, but I do now, and I love investing now.
I started investing during the pandemic when my sister saw my savings account and wasn't happy with it. She explained that I was technically losing money due to your favorite word, inflation.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
You can't avoid it.
It's
like HPV.
The only two things that are sure in life are inflation and HPV.
You can't spell inflation without HPV.
HPV. Is that true?
Nope.
Nope.
There's not one of those letters in
No,
inflation.
there's an H.
You can invest. Dumb as fuck.
Again, this is our richest friend.
My investing strategy is
Wait, let's start this over. Hey, Allie, what's your investing strategy?
so glad you asked. My investing strategy is throw money at whatever shit his pants AJ tells me to, and then I just never look at it again.
That's actually going to work just fine for you.
That'll work great for you.
Also,
but I don't
my other
believe you.
investing strategy. My other investing strategy is before I started listening to Shit His Pants AJ, which actually did benefit me quite well, but I would not broadcast this to our 10 listeners to do. Would not advise as a financial advisor at all. But I did watch some Instagram reels on like where I should invest, and this one was like, hey. There's like the shipping container that's breaking through thick chunks of ice, and it's gonna, decrease. I'm up like a lot.
How much?
How much?
I don't know. I don't look at my investing.
Okay, well, don't
so
invest any more to the shipping container.
Don't listen to.
please.
I have trouble believing the first part of your investing strategy. How you say you follow Shit His Pants AJ and don't look at it. I know you. There's no way you can't look at your shit. You're one of the nosiest friends I have.
Yeah, but I don't care about I'm like, it'll work itself out. I will look at it once a month when I update my expenses.
Oh.
Yeah, my net worth when we compete on net worth.
I didn't know we were.
Yeah,
all
our
competing.
friend group has a net worth competition. Makes us sound real assholey.
I'm losing.
Yeah, Tara's in
Who's
last. Well,
losing?
actually, Hoof's in last place.
Hoof probably.
She should be in last place.
I would assume.
She
based
worked
off
at a
of-
homeless shelter until like 2 years ago.
She got free room and board.
Yeah, where's that
Right.
money going?
Right. Allie has much more of a financial style of like, you're going to die, so you should spend all your
That's
money.
exactly my motto.
So what do you spend your money on?
Yeah, what's your?
What are
fuck it, I'm
you
gonna
getting
die.
that we're not getting?
I'm just like, I don't care. Like, if I'm like, oh, I want a cute leather jacket, I'm just gonna buy it.
I would never.
Like, I'm not like, oh no, like I should save the $50, whatever. Like, I'm
That
just gonna be like,
reminds me.
So do you spend a lot of money on clothes from Amazon?
if you added it up and looked at the bill, I'm sure it would be quite substantial. But like, am I looking? No. Okay, so one of the main things I also wanted to talk about for me personally that's different in terms of spending that I literally argue with mostly Tara about, fucking take an Uber.
No.
What's wrong with
That
you?
is a hot topic. Uber is so expensive in this fucking
take a fucking
city.
cab then. Like, Tara's over here with the fucking slashers of New York City on the subways at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
No,
and
I don't
stand-
disagree. When it comes to safety, you should just take the Uber. But I
as
also will argue you cannot get in an Uber anywhere in the city for under like $40. That's so fucking ridiculous.
Agreed, but like,
Yeah.
I'd rather walk than take the subway.
The
or I'd rather
subway's
Uber.
just fine.
The subway's fine. As a woman, yeah, if it's late at night, listener, pay the $40, get a car, Uber or yellow cab.
It depends where you are.
Well, she's always in Brooklyn.
Not always.
Every time you're
always
waiting for a
going
subway,
on.
you're like, I'm in Brooklyn again.
Okay, so yeah, I had a date the other night, and he
Where was it?
Brooklyn. It was at the Bedford stop. It was only one stop into Brooklyn.
Still
And you
Brooklyn.
still wouldn't take a
You
car
still
home.
went under the water in the
No, I
train.
had to take a fucking car home, and yeah, it was $40. Yeah, that was going to be my one and only other point. We talked a little bit about in the budget that Gemini gave us, transportation. It only counted monthly subway fare, but yeah, if you're actually out living, there are going to be times where there's such bad train delays. Someone jumped, someone got pushed, and
for everybody else.
The cheapest way to travel is the
Your
city
feet.
bike. Well, I guess feet, but
I'm locked at a city bike. I can't.
what happened?
you haven't heard this.
Lyft owns City Bike now, and I've been locked on my Lyft account since
yeah.
2014.
I've got a question. When you go up to get your coffee and they flip the tablet at you for the tip, do you tip? And how much?
$1
Tara?
It depends.
on.
Do I know the barista?
So you're saying if it's a stranger, you don't tip them?
No, it just really depends. Oh, also, okay, for example, lately, instead of getting lattes, I'm getting black coffee. I'm not going to tip for someone to
Yeah.
literally pull the tab for black coffee to dispense into
I'm
my
with
cup.
you.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Why are you buying black coffee? You have a coffee machine.
Sometimes I need a treat.
Sometimes she forgets to preset the coffee.
That's not true.
It is true.
The truth's revealed.
If I forget, I'm still up before this bitch, and I go and start
So
the
you
coffee.
do
No one's
forget.
like coming at you
I
for what
am.
time you wake up. We're
Listen,
coming at you for your lack of
It's
making
one of
coffee.
my kitchen responsibilities, so I do feel a little attacked.
Okay, I've got another one because I've got a million
Wait,
of
no,
these.
do you tip? I know you don't.
No, I don't tip. I don't tip the coffee people. No, because it's
It's
coffee.
Tipping
You have-
culture's outrageous.
I'm not
tipping culture,
into
it's called
that.
tipflation.
Yeah.
And it is outrageous.
Fucking leave us alone and pay your people living wages.
At the fucking airport, I was at JFK or LaGuardia, and I checked out at a self-checkout, and it asked for a tip. Who am I tipping?
I got one.
What?
I don't know.
Wait, I'm just really riled up now.
No, I know. I'm gonna stop
Who am I
you.
tipping?
No, I'm stopping you. Calm down, Iago.
Someone shoot her with one of those blow darts.
Pew, pew, pew.
Take her out.
No.
Shushing a woman
Also on-
does typically calm them down.
Doggy.
Go make me a sandwich.
You want one of my leftover meat
Don't
sandwich?
have her make a sandwich.
You said you liked it.
Well,
I've been told I make exceptional sandwiches. Moving right along.
Okay, what do you have?
Also on tipping, so maybe I'll just target this towards Nora because I don't want another
I love
diarrhea mouth explosion.
I don't like tipping. What is it?
Seamless.
I'm
I'm not done.
Because we got in trouble because of VR posts that one
when
time.
you
didn't.
Oh, we got in trouble.
when you
We had to take the post down.
We got in trouble because Allie posted her
Okay, I want to explain myself. And also, fuck you, Jen, calling me out on this. It is standard to tip $5. Here's my reasoning. One, they weren't coming. That particular restaurant that I ordered from, they came one block. Well, to wrap this bitch up, I did want to call out and say a couple of things.
Is it feedback from part one?
No, it's just like a pitch for New Jersey. Because you guys literally live awful lifestyles
You
in New
pay
York
more
City.
than us.
Correct, but I want to talk about why I would rather pay for luxury and the differences that I have. One, I have 3 in-house gyms in my complex and 2 outdoor pools that
Your
are
neighbors
maintained.
keep leaving Whole Food grocery carts in front of your door.
Okay, you guys don't even have neighbors.
You pay more than us
Okay,
to live in a
so
different state.
I know, but I'm just
Your
trying to
taxes
stay.
must
I
be
don't have to
awful.
take.
Yeah, your taxes.
I
My
get a
God.
refund from New York because I don't
Everyone
live here.
gets a refund
Okay.
from New
I'm
York.
getting like 4 G's back.
Anyway, I get to stare at the beautiful skyline of Manhattan on my way home on a clean ferry.
You like looking at where we live?
Love it. Out of the chaos, out of the trash-filled streets. My streets, beautiful. Cherry blossoms. Trees can thrive there.
Yeah, I heard you have to run into your ex there a lot.
This is
Guys, I'm trying to help for content creation purposes to do the New York versus New Jersey thing. So if you guys can fucking chill. Jesus Christ. One thing. Fucking making me so angry.
the
Okay.
Jersey New York debate is never going to go over well on this podcast.
Lastly,
Shut
so red this morning.
I'm so mad.
Which part?
I'm just trying to get through it. It was laundry, but go fuck you guys. This is done. Goodbye, rats.
This is how I assumed when we were talking about starting a podcast. This is exactly how I imagined it ending every time. Allie getting red and saying, fuck you guys.
As always, thanks for listening. If you're interested in even more bad advice, scurry on over to Instagram and TikTok at Bad Advice Only NYC. We're begging you. Download and rate the show and leave us a review. Talk to you next Monday.
Stay tuned, rats.